Hello everyone, welcome to course study on solid mechanics. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the derivation of torsional formula. To derive the torsional formula, we have to concentrate on three figures, that is figure A, figure B and figure C. Figure A shows a circular shaft which is fixed at one end and other end is free. So this is a circular shaft which has a length L, cross section circular and is fixed at this end. This is the fixed end and this is a free end. This is figure A. In figure B, the same shaft is subjected to torque in clockwise direction at its free end. So the same shaft is subjected to torque T in clockwise direction, and in figure C we have a longitudinal cross section of figure B. So this is the longitudinal cross section of the figure B. Now we have consider a shaft of circular cross section fixed at one end AA and free at other end BB. So this is end AA which is fixed one. This is end BB which is free one. Consider one line CD at the outer surface of the circular shaft. So we have to concentrate on line CD. This is the line CD at the outer surface of shaft. T is the torque applied at the end of the shaft in clockwise direction. So from figure B, we are going to apply a torque T in the clockwise direction at its free end. Due to the application of torque T at its free end, each and every cross section of the shaft is subjected to shear stress. Therefore, the shaft at the end will rotate in the clockwise direction due to the application of this torque T in clockwise direction, and each cross section of the circular shaft will be subjected to shear stress. As discussed earlier, each and every cross section will be subjected to shear stress due to the application of torque T at its free end. Now from figure we have, remember that this therefore sign should be over here. It is due to the problem in application, this sign is shifted to another side. From figure we have R equal to radius of circular shaft. So you concentrate on this figure. OD is equal to R and this is the radius and it is in mm. L is equal to length of the circular shaft. This is the length L. It is in mm. T is equal to torque applied at the free end in clockwise direction. This is the torque T which we have applied in clockwise direction at its free end. As it is a torque or moment, so the unit is Newton mm, or we can express it in kilonewton meter also, but as all the unit it is in mm, so we have Newton mm. G is equal to modulus of rigidity of the shaft, or we can see it as a shear modulus also, and the unit is Newton per mm square. J is equal to polar moment of inertia. So in case of bending stresses, we used I as a moment of inertia, whereas in case of torsion, we will use polar moment of inertia concept. Both moment of inertia and polar moment of inertia have the same unit, that is mm raised to 4 centimeter raised to 4. The concept of polar moment of inertia we are going to discuss in the coming videos. Tau is equal to shear stress induced in the material of the shaft due to the application of torque T, and the unit is Newton per mm square. CD will be shifted to CD dash. Now as we have applied a torque T at its free end in clockwise direction, the original line CD will shift to CD dash because we have applied the torque in clockwise direction. Therefore this CD, this is the CD, will shift to the CD dash, or from this figure also you can see that this CD will shift to the CD dash and D will be the D dash. Similarly OD will become OD dash. This OD will become OD dash. Theta is the angle of twist, that is angle D. This angle DOD dash will be the theta, this figure, and phi is equal to shear strain. This is the phi, this angle is phi, that is angle DC D dash. This is all about the nomenclature of derivation of torsional formula. Now for further derivation we will concentrate on this figure C, because it is very useful for the derivation purpose. From above figure we have tan of phi is equal to dd dash upon CD. So you concentrate on this figure. This is angle phi. So tan of phi is nothing but it is the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. So opposite side is dd dash and the adjacent side is CD. So tan of phi will become dd dash upon CD. So all of you know that CD is nothing but it's a length of the shaft. Therefore tan of phi will become dd dash upon L. But as this shear strain is very small, so tan of phi is approximately equal to phi. So this tan of phi will become phi only. So phi is equal to dd dash upon L. This is the equation number 1. From the same figure we have dd dash equal to OD into theta. dd dash is nothing but it's a length of the arc length, and it is equal to radius into the angle. So the radius is OD and the angle is theta. Therefore the arc length dd dash will become OD into theta, and all of you know that OD is nothing but it's a radius. So dd dash is equal to r into theta. From this figure we have derived this particular equation. Hence we have two equations. The first equation is phi is equal to dd dash upon L and dd dash is equal to r into theta, that is the arc length. Now we will put the value of dd dash into equation number 1. After putting dd dash into equation number 1, I have phi is equal to r theta upon L. Therefore from this equation the shear strain can be given by phi is equal to r theta upon L. Again these two should be over here. This is the equation number 2, but due to the problem in application this 2 is shifted to on left hand side. So our equation 2 is shear strain phi is equal to r theta upon L. Remember that the entire equation we have derived from these two figure only. So concentrate on these two figure. Now as discussed in unit number 1, we have the concept of modulus of rigidity or shear modulus, and it is equal to the ratio of shear stress to the shear strain. Therefore we have G is equal to tau upon r theta upon L, because shear stress is tau and shear strain we have calculated by using this equation is r theta upon L. Therefore on putting all those values we have G is equal to tau upon r theta upon L. After rearranging this equation we have G theta upon L, which is equal to tau upon r, which is equal to tau max upon capital R. So remember that the value of shear stress is a function of radius r. Therefore we have written this equation in this manner: G theta upon L, which is equal to tau maximum upon capital R, because the shear stress will be the maximum at its outer fiber. Therefore shear stress will be maximum when R is at its extreme end, and which is equal to tau upon R. So from this equation A we have, for a given applied torque T, value of G, theta and L is constant. Remember that for a given applied torque T, the value of modulus of rigidity, that is G, the value of theta, because for a given value of torque T, the angle of twist will remain constant, and the length is also constant, so it indicates that the shear stress in the shaft is directly proportional to the radius of the shaft. This is very important relation in case of torsional formula. Shear stress in the shaft material is directly proportional to the radius of the shaft. So it indicates that when R is equal to 0, that is at the neutral axis, the shear stress will be the 0, and when small r is equal to capital R, that is at the outer surface, the shear stress will be the maximum. That is for the reason generally we are using a hollow shaft instead of a solid shaft, because as shear stress will be the 0 at the neutral axis, there is no use of a solid shaft because it will be the wastage of material. Therefore, generally you have been seen that whatever the shaft we are using in the axle of vehicle, in the shaft of fan or in motor, we are using it as a hollow circular section. Using a solid shaft will be the wastage of material. So from the economical point of view, we are using a hollow circular shaft. Because of this reason only, shear stress is directly proportional to the radius of the shaft. So at the neutral axis we have a 0 value of shear stress, whereas at the extreme fiber, that is when small r is equal to capital R, we have a maximum value of shear stress. So this indicates same statement is here. Shear stress tau, this is alpha, this is directly proportional to the radius of the shaft. That is, shear stress at the outer surface of the shaft will be maximum and will be 0 at the axis of the shaft. As discussed earlier, the same statement is given over here. So in this manner, for the purpose of deriving the torsional formula, we have equation A. This is the main equation, G theta upon L, which is equal to tau max upon R, which is equal to tau upon R. This is the main equation A. To derive the further equation of torsional formula, we will discuss the concept of torsional moment of resistance in the next lecture. So we will stop here. Thank you.